Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of Dinner and Beer. And today I have a very special treat for you because we are going to be fixing some of my very favorite food in the entire world. We're going to be fixing some Wasabi style Japanese food. All right, so like I said, one of my family's favorite places to go is Wasabi. I don't know if you have one in your area or not. I'm sure they're in a lot of places. I've seen them in a lot of places I've traveled to. So Wasabi is a place where they cook the food right there in front of you, put on a little show. You sit around this family style table, grill, whatever, and eat your food, okay? So usually that starts off with some Japanese clear soup, which we're going to be cooking today. Some people call it hibachi soup. Some people call it Japanese clear soup. It's got many different names. I don't care what you call it. It's good stuff. I love it. It's probably my favorite soup in the entire world. All right. We are also going to be making some fried rice and some teriyaki chicken. And at the end, we're going to be making some candied carrots. All right. So what I'm going to be doing is something a little different this time. I'm going to break this into a 3-part series. So the first thing that I'm going to show you how to make is the Japanese clear soup. Then we're going to do a part 2 video where I'm going to be showing you how to make the fried rice and the teriyaki chicken. And then we're going to finish it off in part 3 with the candied carrots. All right. Sounds good to you? Sounds good to me. Let's take a look at today's beer. Okay, so what we have today is a 90-minute Imperial IPA from Dogfish Head, which is made by Dogfish Brewing Company. I think they're in Delaware. Let's see here. They are in Milton, Delaware, okay? So Dogfish Head has a very good sour beer as well. But I wanted to try their IPA today with this Japanese food. So let's open this thing up and give it a pour, give it a taste, and see what we're working with. All right, so let's bring it over here for you. Oh yeah, ooh, that's got kind of an orangish golden color to it. Now this 90-minute IPA, one of the things I really liked about it is that it has 9% alcohol. All right, so a lot of your, other beers have like 5.4, 6%. This one's actually 9%, so it's going to be a little bit stronger. And you can see I did an excellent job of pouring this thing. I got about a 3 or 4 inch head on it. So I'm going to let that just chill out there for a second, because if I don't, I'm going to have a foam mouth, and people that are just tuning in are going to think I got rabies or something. They're like, I ain't going to let this dude cook for me. No way. So while I let this thing chill out, let's talk about the ingredients that you're going to need for the Japanese clear soup. All right, so we're going to need some mushrooms. We're going to use these at the very end. Another thing that we're going to use at the very end is some green onion. All right, but we're going to get things started off with a large sweet onion. We're going to use about 2 inches of ginger root. We're going to use about 3 cloves of garlic. And we're going to use 2 carrots, okay, 2 whole carrots. We're going to chop those into chunks. All right, we're going to need a little bit of olive oil just to sear these vegetables in. We're going to sear these vegetables so that we can really open up the flavor, get them going, so that when we add our broth, those flavors infuse into the broth. All right, so we've got 2 32-ounce chicken broth, all right, and 1 32-ounce beef broth. Now we're also going to need 4 cups of water, all right, and that will just help for the evaporation. So you don't want your broth to evaporate, so we'll add that water just to help with the evaporation. That water will evaporate, okay? So that is all that we're going to need for our ingredients. What I'm going to do is chop these bad boys up and then bring the camera over here to the stove with me so that you can see exactly what I'm doing, exactly how to do it, okay? But first, we got to give this beer a try, all right? So it's chilled out a little bit. Let's give it a try. That's really good. All right, so it's a little bit of a heavier IPA. It's still got that hoppy taste, but it's not overwhelming. It has a really kind of strong malt taste to it, which is really, really refreshing in a way, because I think that it's going to go perfect with this Japanese clear soup with the fried rice, teriyaki chicken. and the sweet carrots, okay? So, like I said, let me get all this stuff chopped up and we'll bring it over here to the stove and I'll show you what the next step is going to be. All right? All right, so I've got everything chopped up and ready to go. The first thing we're going to need to do is put about 2 teaspoons of olive oil into our stock pot here. So we just want a little bit, just kind of to coat the bottom there. And I've got this stove turned on medium high. So you want to have it on medium high. What we're looking to do here is sear these vegetables. Like I said, we're trying to open up the flavor of them. That way the flavors can infuse into the soup. Okay. Let's see. Sometimes I have trouble with these eyes. These old stoves don't like to cooperate very well sometimes. All right. So I think we're going to be good to go. We're just going to let that heat up for a second. And then we will throw our veggies in. So while I'm waiting on it to heat up, I'll show you what we got here. So we chopped our 2 carrots up into chunks like these. Okay, so we've got some chunks. We chopped our onion up into wedges like these. All right, that's not our whole onion, just picking it up for show. I peeled and sliced our ginger root. All right, so that's what we've got. And then I peeled and crushed 3 cloves of garlic. Okay, so that is what we are looking for our vegetables. See what we got. All right, this oil is heated up pretty good now. All right, let's wait for just another second and then we will be ready to get to cooking. While I do that, let's do our cheers for our beer. All right, so cheers. Oh yeah, that's some good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and start adding in our vegetables. Now, what we want to do is we want to kind of caramelize these vegetables, okay? But one thing you need to be careful of is that you do not burn the garlic, okay? So, basically, when the garlic starts looking like it's done, everything else is done automatically. All right, so we're going to sear these on both sides. Should just take probably 2 to 3, 4 minutes, something like that. Shouldn't take very long at all. Look, we got an onion dancing here. Look there, did you see that thing? It was singing Rap God like them scrambled eggs. I don't know if you've seen that one or not. Let's knock that off into there. There we go. Want to make sure everything's touching the surface of the bottom of the pot here. All right. I do a lot of cooking with my hands. I don't know who else is out there like that just will touch stuff in the pot and all that. Always make sure that you wash your hands before you start cooking. That way you can play with your food. All right. For turning these, I'm going to just use my tongs here. I like these big tongs. Sometimes they work a lot better than the smaller ones, but these are actually my big barbecue tongs. So we're going to give these a couple more minutes here. I'm going to get another drink of beer. Wow, this is really starting to smell good. You can really smell the ginger. The ginger and the garlic and the onions. Wow, that is an amazing smell right there. So you can tell that the flavors are starting to unlock in these. Just by the scent, you'll be able to really smell a strong aroma of everything that you have in the pot. So you'll be able to smell the ginger, the garlic, you'll be able to smell the onions, not so much the carrots. I don't think carrots have too much of an odor. We'll just give this a couple of minutes now, and then we'll be ready to start adding our broth. All right, let's stir these around a little bit here. You can see here, especially on this piece of ginger, see how it's starting to caramelize a little bit? That is what we're looking for, something like that, all right? So these onions, we'll wait for those to caramelize. We just want to keep an eye on that garlic and make sure it don't burn. All right, our onions are starting to caramelize. Our garlic's still looking good. Let's give these one last little stir here. We are looking good, looking good. All right, let's give those a couple more minutes. You see here, that's what we're looking for everything. Okay, so our garlic is starting to get really caramelized here. So time to shut this bad boy down. All right, and let's go ahead and add our broth, okay? So it don't matter what order you put them in, all that. Let's go ahead and put our beef broth in. Okay, let's add our chicken broth. All right. Next, let's add 4 cups of water. All right, and let's give all that a good stir here. Let's use our spoon. Stir it around. Look at that. Oh man, that looks good already. So you can kind of see what the color is going to be. You're not going to be able to see it in this black spoon, but you can see into the pot. Be able to see it's going to be a mostly clear color with a little bit of a dark color just because of the beef broth. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring this up to a boil, and then we're going to turn it down on medium low, which if you have numbers on your eye like me, will be about a 3 to a 4. And we are just going to let it simmer for 1 hour, okay? So bring it up to a boil like it is, and then we're going to turn it down on 3 or 4, let it simmer for about an hour, let all of these beautiful vegetable flavors infuse into that broth and the broth flavors and all that good stuff, and then we will be ready to have some Japanese clear soup or hibachi soup or whatever kind of soup you want to call it. It's going to be delicious. All right, so let's go ahead and let that come up to a boil, turn it down on simmer, and then I'll be right back with you at the end to show you how to finish this thing off. All right, so we've let our soup simmer for about an hour, and now we are ready for the next step, which is to filter out these vegetables here. So we've got a skimmer here. I use this for the deep fryer. I use it to skim vegetables out of soup pots, whatever I need it for, right? So get you one of these, big, small, don't matter. Just as long as it fits in your stock pot here. And what we're going to do is take these vegetables out. All right, so we're going to put those to the side. We're not going to use these anymore. Oh, one's trying to, whoop, one did crawl into the side of the pot and it made its way down. All right, so we're just going to take all these vegetables out. We're going to take the garlic out. We're going to take everything that we put in out. All we want is the broth, okay? So we're going to filter all this stuff out here. All right, and while I do that, I want to give you a warning about this Dogfish Head 90-day Imperial IPA. This stuff is very, 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 very strong, okay? So I've had 3 of them now while I've been waiting on the soup, and all I can tell you is I'm seeing kind of sideways. All right, so make sure to pace yourself. Make sure to drink responsibly. I'm not promoting any kind of excessive drinking here, any of that stuff. I'm just telling you what's good and what's not, and I'm telling you this Dogfish Head 90-day Imperial IPA is really, really good, but it's really, really strong, okay? So make sure to pace yourself. Okay, so we've got that done. Let me just set that to the side there, and we are going to put us some of this soup in a bowl, and then I'm going to show you how to finish it all off, okay? So let's scoop us some soup in here. All right, you can see as I'm scooping it into the bowl, the color of the soup here. It's mostly light color with a little hint of dark color, but I think it's going to have a good meaty taste from the beef broth, and I think it's also going to have a really, really good vegetable taste from the vegetables we put in, as well as the spices of garlic and ginger. Okay. All right, so let's get our bowl full of soup here. Okay. Yum. Can you smell that coming through the camera? Can you? Can you really? All right, let's take it over here and let me show you how to finish this thing off. All right, so we've got our tasty soup here. All right, now what we're going to do is we have sliced up some whole mushrooms here. You can get sliced mushrooms if you want to, but we've sliced up some whole ones. All right, so we're going to just put a few of those into our soup. Let them float around. All right, let's put a couple more. There we go. And then we're going to put some green onions. And voila. Soup is served. Now we have some Japanese clear soup, wasabi soup, hibachi soup, whatever you want to call it. That's what we have. All right. So next time that you're craving some wasabi or Japanese food, whatever, then make sure to make this Japanese clear soup. Okay? That is all there is to it. All you need to do is cut up your vegetables, your carrots, your garlic, your ginger, your onion, and throw those in a pot. Make sure that you sear those really well, and then all you need to do is add your broth, add your water, bring it up to a boil, calm it down to simmer for about an hour, and then top it off with some mushrooms and green onion, and you are set. Okay? So that is it for part 1. Now make sure that you tune in to part 2, where we're going to be showing you how to make the teriyaki chicken, the fried rice, the entree of the course, if you will. All right? So make sure to tune in to part 2. We're going to be showing you how to do all that and put this meal the rest of the way together. Click on part 2 right now. See you there.